butcher? The freaking nut job that goes around just chopping people up? Well, the feds or whatever heard that he's gonna be here today.
Hey, you know the Podmaster General? That crazy guy going up everywhere chopping up podcasts? Well, the feds got a tip that he's gonna be at this recording tonight. This whole podcast is a trap. Hi, my name is Tanner Richard Kraft. Welcome to another episode of Bomb Squad Matinee. With me I have...
Hi, I've never looked at the pod through this lens before. Never let the two lives touch.
I'm Avatar Ong.
Hi, I'm Joseph Rennick, and look, I don't know if you guys heard about this article in the New York Times about honeybees vanishing.
You motherfucker. You know what? That's what you should watch while high. You should watch The Happening.
Okay.
And if you couldn't tell from that opening, the first joke opening I've done in a while, today we're discussing the newest M. Night Shyamalan movie, recently released on digital. Very cool. We're talking about M. Night Shyamalan's Trap, the latest thriller or deeply hilarious comedy to hit theaters. Well, to hit digital at this point. A movie came out of theaters a month ago. But before we get into talking about Trap, this is our first time talking about a director that I'm pretty sure all of us are on some level a fan of. Or at the very least, it's a director you definitely have an interesting opinion about. That's right, M. Night Shyamalan, one of the more polarizing directors in the modern film landscape. So I'm going to throw it up to our warm-up question. What's your favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie? Austin, back on the pod for the first time in like a month. We're going to start with you.
I'm gonna admit, I'm not a huge M. Night stan over here. It's kind of like how, get this, I'm all about the good new Nicolas Cage movies. But I'm not running to the store to buy a copy of Wicker Man and drive angry. Believe me, I'm stoked to see like a first-generation Indian immigrant succeed in Hollywood and create an entire family full of supermodels. But my sympathy for M. Night's plight as a person does not extend to his body of work. Hands down, though, fucking Unbreakable. Oh my god! M. Night had some of that Orson Welles level beginner's luck during those first 3 years he made movies in Hollywood. I haven't seen it since I was like 10 years old, but I remember that film being a goddamn revelation. I have never been more stressed out as a 10-year-old than I was watching that scene where David Dunn's kid accidentally pressed the Z trigger on his N64 controller and locks a gun on his pops. But yeah, that's my answer, Unbreakable, aka the best realistic, gritty comic book film that came out before The Dark Knight. Back to you, Tanner.
All right, you will be summarily executed later for your crimes against Shyamalan. Let's move on to someone who I'm pretty sure is maybe more on my side of the spectrum when it comes to Shyamalan. Tim.
Yeah, so I have to admit, I haven't seen that many of Shyamalan's movies. I watched the early hits. I watched Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, The Village, and then the other movie of his that I had seen was Knock at the Cabin. So I missed everything in between those. But I am curious to check out maybe everything after like The Happening. Like it seemed like from The Visit on, he kind of developed a new take as a director, and it seems like something that would be interesting to watch. I enjoyed Knock at the Cabin, and we'll get into my feelings on this here movie. But for my favorite, I got a basic answer, and that is The Sixth Sense. It's just an absolute classic, and just a testament to how good this movie is. M. Night Shyamalan, of course, is known for his crazy twists in all of his movies. And the twist in The Sixth Sense is basically the second most known movie twist after the twist in The Empire Strikes Back. So I watched this movie maybe 20-something years after it came out, and it still was enthralling to me, even knowing full well the ending of the movie. If anything, I think it actually kind of gave me an interesting lens to look the movie at, because I was able to, see it knowing that that guy in the hairpiece was Bruce Willis the whole time.
Good. Good.
But yeah, no, like seriously, when the scene in the diner where you see him with his wife, that like has another like if you watch it not knowing the twist, you just think she's being cold to him, but knowing the twist at the end, it gives it more of an interesting twist to it, knowing the reality behind it. So yeah, Sixth Sense, good movie. And I'm going to talk about his most recent movie soon, after more talking. Back to you, Tanner.
Tim, I respect your dedication to not saying what the twist in The Sixth Sense is, even though I guarantee you all 17 people watching this video / podcast 100% knows the twist of The Sixth Sense. So I'll just say it. Though all those names you saw at the end, those are the people that worked on the movie.
That's true.
All right, Joe, now that I've loosened you up, what's your favorite M. Night movie?
All right, so M. Night Shyamalan, very fascinating director to me, where it's like when he hits, he really fucking hits, but when he doesn't hit, he really doesn't fucking hit. And that was honestly a long period of time after what was, I'm gonna have to admit, is my favorite movie of his. But the last time, I mean, he's had like huge hits in my opinion as far as like just good movies. However, he has not had a hit as high in my opinion than with Signs from 2002. Great fucking movie. That's a movie that I love mostly on a screenwriting perspective, because it is a very tight script. Like, from the way that like character developments happen to the way like callbacks happen, honestly, just to how like it's paced as far as like telling a story. Like, it is a perfect fucking screenplay. Is the twist fucking stupid? Kind of, yes, I will admit. But
who cares about the twist? Sorry, I had to
yeah,
get it out.
that's the thing. The twist doesn't fucking matter. What matters is the fucking journey, and the journey is fucking great. You got great character stuff. It's probably like, honestly, the last time I think Mel Gibson was good in a movie. Maybe he hasn't really acted in a whole lot.
Father
since.
Stew, motherfucker.
I'm sorry, Bloodfather would like to have a word with you.
Bloodfather? What's Bloodfather?
I think it's like a Redbox movie that's surprisingly good. I might have to check the title on that one. He's done good stuff. I'm a big Mel Gibson stan.
I mean, he's done. I mean, he's done good stuff, but I don't think he's done like.
He's done good stuff in movies.
Yeah, no, okay, we will clarify. He is maybe, you know, he kind of is a piece of shit.
Mel Gibson, the person, kind of a monster.
Speaking of slurs,
but as an actor, he's still a good actor and he's done great things. But I don't think he's made a fantastic movie where he's given a fantastic performance since Signs, and he's really fucking good in that movie. Also, like, the movie's just genuinely scary. There's like jump scares that don't have the blah sound effect to them, and it's fucking great. The commercial for that movie scared the shit out of me when I was 6.
The fucking theme song is eerie as hell.
It is one of the best, like, James Newton Howard scores ever. Like, it's so well composed. Such a great film. If I had a runner-up, it would probably be Split. I'm hard-pressed to say old, but I don't know if that's whether or not I actually kind of enjoy that movie, or if it's just my crush on Thomas and Mackenzie taking over, but that's besides the point. Back to you, Tanner.
The Beach That Makes You Old. Great movie. Unironically, it was actually, so here's the thing. If you asked me this question 4 or 5 years ago, my answer would have been the same, but I also would have been a lot harsher on M. Night. Starting around the time Glass came out, and especially once Old happened, I kind of started to do this reappraisal, this 180 on him of like, wait, has this guy actually made that many bad movies? Dare I say, no, he hasn't. I think only 3 movies in his filmography are truly bad. The Last Airbender, obviously. After Earth, obviously. And Lady in the Water, obviously. Notice I do not say The Happening. I think everything he's doing in that movie is intentional.
You're being too kind to The Visit. That movie's a piece of shit.
I like The Visit. Fuck you. Not the point. Not the point. My point being is that realizing that everything that's going on in the happening is just kind of on purpose and is honestly more Mark Wahlberg's fault than anything, you kind of sort of start to unlock M. Night as a director. Obviously, you guys, and I think it says a lot about him as a director that you guys all had unique, different, valid answers. Unbreakable's amazing. That actually probably is my favorite one, but I don't like repeating answers. The Sixth Sense is incredible. Signs is incredible. That first 3 film run he had in Hollywood, obviously he had Praying Anger and Wide Awake before that, but that run from Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs is an incredible run. I am here to tell you that I do not think that is the end of that run, because the 4th movie he made with Hollywood, The Village, is a goddamn masterpiece. Fuck y'all. Fuck the haters. You're all wrong. The Village is a heart-wrenchingly romantic, beautiful movie that, yeah, gets you a little scary, but it's not a horror movie. It's a romance movie. And at its core, it has a wonderful romance. And when it wants to scare you, it does scare you. And people are like, oh, the stupid twist where that's not the fucking point. With most of these movies, that's not the point. The twist in The Sixth Sense isn't the point. The twist in Unbreakable is not the point. It's never the point. You guys, just because the first movie of his that broke through had this crazy plot twist, and don't get me wrong, what Tim was saying is true. It's an incredible twist that immediately makes you want to rewatch the movie and entirely recontextualizes it. It's also not the point. That movie would still work if Bruce Willis was alive the whole time. It would still work. And The Village still works, knowing even if it was in olden times, it just adds these layers of texture, of character, of intrigue to make it take place in the modern times. If you haven't seen The Village, and I just spoiled it for you, sorry, you had 20 years. The Village is a masterpiece, and I think it caps off what is an incredible 4-film run. Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, The Village, those are all 5-star movies for me. Which makes the current run I think M. Night is on all the more special. I was a gigantic fan of Knock at the Cabin last year. I think it missed my top 10 in hindsight. I think I would bump it up a lot, especially after I would hopefully rewatch it here soon. But what I also really love, and what is so far my 5th favorite movie of the year, is Trap.
This whole concert, it's a trap.
Wow. Here?
Yeah.
I fucking love Trap. We'll get into my thoughts on it, but first, we're gonna go with Tim. What did you think of Trap?
So, we are recording this the day after Labor Day, and me and my fiance just finally got around to watching it. We thought, let's just go see it on Labor Day. And they weren't playing it at the Alamo at this point, so we went to Ronnie's. Around the time lights go down, they start playing this Walmart back-to-school ad. About 2 minutes into the ad, I realize I figured out the Shyamalan twist. You think you're going into this Josh Hartnett thriller, but it's actually a back-to-school ad at feature length where children talk the way boomers think children talk. This is the trap!
This is the trap. Crispy. So fucking crispy.
Deep fried. 6 minutes into the ad, it ends, and then we were treated as a mercy to the See No Evil trailer. And eventually, Greg Marcus says thank you for coming, enjoy the show, and the movie starts. And
Oh, that was a joke! Okay, I was about to get so fucking mad at you! I was like, this is the movie you decided to go full shit on for?
But yeah, my thoughts on the movie, I think that this is, to date, the greatest live-action adaptation of Death Note. Because like Death Note, this is the story of a serial killer who's a bumbling dipshit, fighting tooth and nail to avoid getting caught as he fucks up again and again and again. It's incredible. Like, just the first reveal of him like talking to the guy that became the meme, just like you know that guy the butcher. That I think is kind of your first introduction to how much. If you've seen the videos of like people trying to like re-edit Breaking Bad as a sitcom by just putting a laugh track underneath it. I felt that a lot throughout the first half of this movie. I think you could put a laugh track under a lot of it and it wouldn't feel out of place. Like it's genuinely like it's
intentionally.
It's like a thrilling movie, but it's also genuinely very funny. And just the whole time you see into this character how fucking stupid he is. Like I almost don't like the twist that the wife planted the ticket stub, because I'm like, he's so stupid, he would have done it anyway. But it was still just great seeing this whole thing unfold of him just going through, just like trying to figure out how to stall as much as possible. And great performances. The pop singer, that's his daughter, right?
That is his daughter, yes.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Different from the daughter that directed The Watchers, for the record.
Yeah.
This is a different daughter.
Salika Shyamalan.
Yeah. And she was great performer. I loved her just as like the musical performer in this movie. Like Cody was saying, I would go see her. I would go see Lady Raven. She felt very real, which was cool. Yeah, good time. I'll probably have more to say in general discussion, but I would say of his current run, out of the two that I've seen, I would probably say I like this one best of the two. So I'll check out Old one of these days. But right now I'm on track. Back to you, Tanner.
All right, all great stuff. Sorry for the absolute mean mug I was giving you at the start. I thought you were saying the beginning of the movie was a Walmart back to school ad, and I was like, fuck you.
No, there was a literal...
I totally misunderstood the joke.
There was a literal 6-minute Walmart ad. It was insane.
Fucking incredible. Damn. What are we doing here? I'll still go to Ronnie's because they'll play shit nobody else has. All right, well, I'm gonna... I actually saw this movie with Joe, so I already know what he thinks. But I want the audience to know, so Joe, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so here's how I'm going to describe Trap real quick. So, and I'm going to use this director as an example. So, you know Edgar Wright? You know how he likes to kind of dip his toes into, like, different genres? So it's like, oh, the next Edgar Wright movie, but it's a superhero movie. Or the next Edgar Wright movie, but it's an Italian giallo movie. Or the next Edgar Wright, but it's a police action movie.
Ant-Man.
No.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, but that's kind of how a lot of like Shyamalan's later period movies have kind of started to feel. And in this instance, I feel like the whole appeal of it, and it's part of the reason why I liked the movie a lot, is what if an Alfred Hitchcock contained thriller, but made by M. Night Shyamalan?
And also funny.
And also very funny, yes. Intentionally and unintentionally. Because, yeah, that's kind of become the appeal of Shyamalan to me, and that's the biggest thing that I absolutely loved about this movie. It's just his kind of take on those kinds of movies. And he makes a solid self-contained thriller, and also is, like, able to, like, put his unique stamp on it in a way that doesn't affect the quality of the movie, and is also just genuinely entertaining. But yeah, it's a fun thrill ride from beginning to end that has all of the Shyamalan quirks that you expect. Again, the heartening is happening, baby. Josh Hartnett, my boy, he's back in full swing, and he is very fun.
Fucking boy, is he.
He is fun as hell in this movie. The way that I've described his performance in this is like, what if Steve from Blue's Clues finally got out of his acid trip and just decided to start killing people? And I say that in the best way possible because, like, Shyamalan writing is very interesting in, like, in regards of, like, acting. So it's like, you gotta kind of read it in a certain way in order to make it work. And Josh Hartnett does that in spades, and it is both very funny, very entertaining, and at points kind of intimidating. He can be pretty scary in this. It's shot really well. As mentioned earlier, the music in this is actually pretty fucking good. I might actually have to get the soundtrack after this, if there is one. Overall, it was just a fun time. I really enjoyed my time with it. I think he probably could have cut out a couple minutes, maybe. It did run a little long. But I really liked Tanner. Tanner, don't give me the stink eye. I really liked it. And if that's like one of my only critiques with the movie, if my only critique, then you got a good movie on your hands.
For me, I think it's less that the movie itself is long, it's that like half of the movie is at the concert venue, and when it changes locations, you think you're in the home stretch. And you're not.
Yeah.
It's at the exact 1 hour mark, and this is like, what, an hour 45 or something?
Yeah.
There's a surprising amount of the movie that is the Looney Tunes ass third act.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, that's when the movie goes from great to best,
Kinda, yeah. A little bit.
in my opinion.
And I was finished with my thoughts, so if you want to go on to the next person.
Well, just allow me to say, Josh Hartnett, yes, is incredible in this movie. I said to you after walking out that I think that is the most I've seen an actor get Shyamalan. Like, and that I think I said something to you along those lines after leaving the movie.
Yeah, I do remember this.
Yeah, I told you it was him and Bautista and Knock at the Cabin last year. I was like, oh, these guys get M. Night. All right, Austin. I actually have no idea what you thought of this movie, so I feel like we might have talked about it at one point. Work's been busy. Tell the audience what you think about Trap.
Okay, a little roundabout here. So, you guys know how in Knives Out, the main character has that, like, pronounced physical response to telling lies? Recently, I've developed something a little like that. So, as Tanner knows, I got switched to morning shift at work, so now I gotta wake up at 5:30 in the morning every day. No big deal, half the country does it. Except my body, when it wakes up at 5:30 a.m., checks off some invisible box that says, user now requires a nap. Get this, I have no issue running 16 hours, non-stop, if I wake up at 8:30 in the morning and go to sleep at 1 the next morning. But if I wake up at 5:30 a.m. and go to bed at 10, same amount of hours, God forbid, once my shift ends, my body is trying to nap in the second I hit a comfortable chair. Ergo, I have started falling asleep at the movie theater for the first time since I was in college.
No.
Tragic.
Yeah. Don't worry, I don't snore. Sid usually wakes me up when it starts happening. Please don't own me in the comments. And on the only bright side of this phenomenon has the sole benefit of making it really obvious whether a movie works for me or not. And this is where I get to Trap. Trap was a movie I was reasonably excited for. The scale of the concert area looked excellent. I was a huge sucker for, like, the rapid cutting montage at the end of trailer 2, where two shots are played simultaneously, separated by, like, an alpha mat of thin vertical bars. That shit was kind of awesome. It felt like M. Night was, like, taking a crack at a new kind of film that he'd never done before. But you know what movies I was significantly more excited for than this? Those two R-rated horror movies from Neon, Longlegs and Cuckoo. I was shitting my pants level excited for Longlegs. I was fucking bouncing in the car on the way to see Cuckoo. But in a Shyamalan level twist of fate, Trap is the only one of those three movies where I did not fall asleep during my screening.
Let's go!
In the way of holding my attention and keeping me physically awake, Trap was apparently better than Longlegs and Cuckoo. This 56% on Rotten Tomatoes ass movie just boxed the fuck out of an 86 and a 77. Gotta say, we are living in an excellent year for people who happen to be the daughters of M. Night Shyamalan. Your Tanner referred to this earlier. Fucking Ishana dropped The Watchers, that Dakota Fanning movie that just barely made its budget back. She's 24 years old, and from what I can tell, the very first Gen Z woman to direct a film that got distributed by a major studio. And now, Salika, his pop star daughter, gets this film that made like $72 million back on its $30 million budget. And it's basically one long ad for her music career. Swear to God, we're like 2 months away from finding out that Shivani Shyamalan directed like a low-budget horror movie, but it stars Daniel Day-Lewis. M. Night
Hell
is
yeah.
officially like competing with Taylor Swift's Wall Street Dad in the Nepotism Olympics, and he's going for the gold. Trap, in my estimation, is a surprisingly great film, and a lot of that is owed to Josh Hartnett's performance and the cinematography by Shyamalan Mukdeepram, the same camera dude who works with Luca Guadagnino and Apichatpong Weerasethakul. For people who think in movie titles and not directors, this guy shot Challengers. He shot Call Me By Your Name, and the Palme d'Or winning Uncle Boon Me, who can recall his past lives. Film school. M. Night chose a fucking phenomenal cinematographer for his daughter's music commercial. This is like if they got Roger Deakins to shoot the Tetris movie. Concert arenas, such chaotic environments. It is a testament to how M. Night and his crew work that they were able to take such full advantage of this huge ass setting. Josh Hartnett's ability to switch between World's Greatest Dad and Seasoned Serial Killer really fucking owns. M. Night's good at writing characters like this. I think that's why Split made $300 million at the box office. People on Twitter talking about how the dialogue in this movie kind of sounds like it was written by somebody from another fucking planet. My favorite articulation of this was from Karsten Rundquist, who said that Trap behaves like a person who's baked, high as fuck, but is doing their best around their sober friends to act normal. I sincerely didn't mind Trap's dialogue, because, certain cringe archetypes that M. Night sucks at writing were thankfully absent from this. There was no little white boy who wanted to be a hip-hop rapper. There was no, self-proclaimed super genius that fails to live up to their self-promotion. M. Night had sufficient enough skills to write every type of character that appears in this film. Low point of the writing for me was maybe Lady Raven trying to psych the butcher out by role-playing as his mom. High point of the writing for me was that fucking thing Josh Hartnett did where he put his hand on Lady Raven's shoulder. Don't know why, I fucking adored that method of intimidation and the way Josh Hartnett played the scene. Gonna wrap up here because I've been talking for a minute. Trap is probably my favorite thing M. Night has made since his glory days with stuff like Unbreakable and The Sixth Sense. It seems like after 32 years of directing features, Shyamalan has finally made peace with his strengths and weaknesses and learned how to utilize this unique skill set to make a undeniably solid theatrical experience. This feels like his third epoch of making big budget event films, and he kind of showed up really equipped for it this time. Really high 6 out of 10. Would recommend. Even when the third act went off the rails, I was still rooting for this, Looney Tunes-ass protagonist. Back to you, Tanner.
All right, all great stuff. Great. You had me on the edge of my seat with that whole sleeping thing. And I was also incredibly excited for Cuckoo and Longlegs. Cuckoo kind of was whatever for me. Longlegs mostly lived up to the hype for me, with the exception of a bit of a lull. But admittedly, the movie I was most excited for out of these three was Trap. I've been talking about Trap since I saw the I've been talking about Trap since I heard the fucking premise of the movie. I've been excited for it the whole time.
Weirdest thing happened for me. I saw the trailer for Trap once. It just never played on any of the movies I was going to see for some reason.
Yeah, you know what?
They had to make more room for the See No Evil trailer.
Hold on. If I have to see that goddamn See No Evil trailer one more time, I'm gonna blow my fucking brains out. I've been talking about it with Austin, how sick of it I am. Because you know what? It doesn't look good. It looks bad. You know what the worst part is? It looks like a shitty American remake of a movie that's already mostly in English.
I like the part where he says "no" while throwing a biscuit at the kid.
I'm so tired. Please.
Of course I'm a bloody doctor.
I've been seeing that trailer since fucking May. It comes out in September. This is bullshit. I hope it bombs. Let's talk about happy things though, such as a serial killer getting away. I fucking love Trap, and you know what? The hyperpoly is gonna start coming out. I'm gonna start with it right here, right now. You know what? First off, I'll just get that out of the way. Josh Hartnett is fucking brilliant. If I was filling out an Oscar ballot, he would be my #1 choice for lead actor. Unironically, if he's not perfect, this movie doesn't work. And thank God is he more than fucking perfect. He handles the comedic balance, the thrilling balance. He is equal parts intimidating and equal parts literal Looney Tunes character. It's not an easy balance to strike, and yet he strikes it fucking perfectly. The entire rest of the supporting cast is amazing. All the acting is amazing. I think this is M. Night's best script since last year at Knock at the Cabin. I think M. Night's on a hot streak right now, but this is one of M. Night's best scripts ever. I think it's very fun. I like the Hitchcock Looney Tune ass bullshit that's got going on. It's beautifully well shot. I can't believe that. I'm surprised you didn't mention that he's the guy that shot the Suspiria remake.
Yeah, he works with Luca Guadagnino on like all of his movies. All the famous ones that you've heard of were shot by the same dude.
Did he shoot Queer? A movie that's coming out? He did shoot Queer?
The one
cool.
that came out like today at the film festivals. Yeah, he shot Queer.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. That looks like it's going to be good. It apparently has hardcore gay sex in it.
Dudes rock.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about hardcore gay sex. We're here to talk about a serial killer. Dude's cock, yes. As I was sitting here, yes, it's led by an excellent Hartnett performance. Yes, the script mostly avoids the M. Night Shyamalan pitfalls, though M. Night has actually mostly avoided that in recent years. I'm a Glass believer. I'm a Glass defender, for example. Fuck you too, buddy.
I'll defend Glass too. It's
Joe, I appreciate your support.
Oh shit.
Tim, where do you stand on the whole Glass debate?
Yeah.
That's a support. That's 3 against 1, Austin. You're outvoted.
No.
Got your ass kicked.
This is maybe the most hyperbolic thing I'm going to say, but I have a really excellent argument to defend it. I was thinking back on what recent movie thematically I would want to compare Trap with. What I'm about to say is going to sound fucking insane until I explain it. The movie I would most, again, thematically compare Trap with is The Fabelmans. Let me explain. Let me explain. I know I sound insane.
Elaborate on
right
that,
now.
David Lynch.
No. No, I can't. Now he said David Lynch, and I can't. No. Fabelmans, unlike what a lot of the trailers sold us to believe, is not a cinema paradiso movie. It is not Steven Spielberg celebrating his love of cinema. It's not a celebration of the movies. It is actually a movie about how Steven Spielberg's incessant need to think about everything in terms of film and how he'll turn everything in his life into a movie is actually, yes, a gift, but also a curse. A horrible, horrible curse that I relate heavily to. Trap is a metaphor, and the casting of Shyamalan's daughter is very intentional. Is Shyamalan's incessant need to be a filmmaker making him a worse father? That is the question he wrestles with in this movie. Because think about it, Josh Hartnett's character, yes, he's a serial killer. Yes, he murdered a bunch of people, but you know what the movie unironically, unambiguously shows? That he's also an amazing father. That he does love his children. That the thing he's really mad about at the end is not necessarily that his wife turned him in. It's not necessarily that. It's that it means he's never gonna see his kids again. That's what he's mad about.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan, his incessant need to be a filmmaker has him wondering, is this a curse instead of a gift? Have I been a lackluster father to my children? Have I not been present the way I should be in their lives? See, I told you it would make sense once I explained it. They are both on some level about how filmmaking is a gift and a curse. You really thought, you motherfuckers thought I couldn't do it.
No, I believed you could. I wanted to hear you out.
What were you saying, Austin?
And this is the analog for filmmaking serial murder?
Yes.
Got it. I mean, he did make a lot of horror movies.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Lady in the Water is about as bad as a murder.
Jesus. Yeah, that is interesting. It's hard to parse, like, because a lot of people go very reductive with it, and they're like, he made this as like a music ad. I even put it like in my little thing. But looking at it from that kind of angle is very interesting. Holy shit.
It adds a lot of layers of depth to the movie, I think. Especially that sequence where he's standing there watching his daughter get to perform up there with Lady Raven, which, shit, is that not just a metaphor for what he's doing in this movie? Casting his daughter as the Lady Raven character?
God.
I think there's a lot of facets, and I have barely scratched the surface of that. There were a lot more better critics than me, better film analysts than me that have, I think, really dug deep into this kind of thing and probably explain it better. There's a critic whose name is escaping me right now that has made a couple of tweets alluding to this kind of thing, and I think that's where Trap really shines. At first, I ranked this my number 5 Shyamalan movie behind Knock at the Cabin, The Village, The Sixth Sense, and Unbreakable. But you know what? Just now, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Put that shit ahead of Knock at the Cabin, because there is something really remarkable, again, about how much this film is a balancing act of itself. The stuff about, like, is my filmmaking a curse? Have I been a good father? It's such an ultimate question, led by, in my opinion, the best fucking performance of the year. It might be the most well-shot goddamn movie of the year. I mean, fuck, you know what, guys? I think a lot of people think this year in movies have been weaker than last year's, and I think I generally agree, but the heavy hitters hit hard. Dune Part 2, Hitman, Didi, and of course, I Saw the TV Glow, which round out my top 5 along with Trap, which is my number 5 favorite movie of the year, is all amazing stuff. It's all why are you laughing, Austin?
Hitman Didi, I wasn't expecting. Rich homie Didi, that fucking got me. I don't know why.
It's 2 different movies. It's 2 different movies.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's 2 different movies.
The Richard Linklater movie Hitman.
Yeah, it's Hitman and then DD.
Can that just be the sequel to DD? Hitman DD?
Why does it give like the same cadence as Glenn Martin DDS? That shitty like stop motion Dennis cartoon where the dog had like a prolapsed asshole or whatever.
I thought I was the only one that remembered that show.
I think of that goddamn show every day. I'm clearly running out of steam here, so we're gonna take a quick ad break and then we'll be back at you with some general discussion, because I'm sure we all have a lot more to say here.
Hey, what's with all the police trucks outside and the cameras everywhere, Jamie? Something happening?
It's a trap!
Welcome back from that ad break for another ad. See that thing right there? That's a movie palette. Basically takes the primary color of every frame of a movie, chops it up into these little bits and bobs and slices, puts it all together on a little palette for your aesthetic pleasure. You can go to moviepalette.com, add 1, add 2, add 10, add 50 to your cart. I will warn you, they cost like $90, so maybe don't add 50 unless you're rich, in which case, just give me money. My Venmo is Tanner-Craft-4. But if you want to give Movie Palette your money, go to moviepalette.com, add it to your cart. But before you check out, enter the code SQUAD15 to save 15% on your order. Now back to the show. So, M. Night Shyamalan. I wish he was my uncle. No, that's not
My
what I'm
mother's brother.
saying. If only. No,
I wish he was my father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
What does that make us?
Absolutely nothing!
Let's get into it. M. Night Shyamalan, this might be the only movie of his we talk about for a while, which is funny because The Sixth Sense turns 25 this year. Besides the point, I think M. Night is known for one consistent thing in his lot of the movies, which is his cameo, the director cameo.
Yeah.
So real quick, I just want to know, what are your guys' favorite M. Night cameo, if you can pick one?
Oh boy.
Wait, in Signs, isn't he the guy who was like, I was there the night your wife died horribly? Is that his character? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, he's the
was
one that killed Mel Gibson's wife in the
Yeah, he was
car accident.
responsible for it. It was an accident, but he was responsible.
That one.
And that
That's
like that
fine.
one's like a legit good one though.
He's good in it. He's
like,
good in
like-
the role.
He's great in the role, and like it's just a good character overall. I like it when it's silly Shyamalan.
Like this
So-
one today has a great funny Shyamalan one.
Every teenager in here is devoted to her. She could start a cult. They're hanging on her every word. Must be something to be that loved, right?
I'm actually her uncle, her mother's brother, and she's really great.
Wow.
I think the one that I'm gonna go with, and it's the dumbest one that he did. I liked that he was in Knock at the Cabin, where he's the guy advertising like the blender.
That's a good bit. I love that. I was so excited. We also saw that together, if I remember correctly, Joe.
We did at the same theater at the Alamo Draft House.
Yeah. You and I have seen the last 2 Alamo movies together. Tim, do you have one?
I mean, I'll be honest, I never really noticed his cameos in his other movies, but I did notice in this one, and I enjoyed it in this. I was like, hey, is this the director?
If I had to pick a favorite, it's cheating, because it's technically 3 movies worth of cameos, which is his cameo in Unbreakable / Split Glass, which is confirmed to be the same character in his cameo on Glass, where he's clearly getting security camera equipment because in the previous movie, he's shown to be working for a security company. So he's getting security camera equipment. And then he's like, hey man, did you used to work at that stadium all those years ago? Yeah. Yeah, I was in with a rough crowd back then, man, but I turned my life around. It's so goddamn funny. It's fucking incredible. I love it. M. Night, you're a god.
Some Bruce Campbell and Spider-Man ass shit.
It really is. He's so good. He's so good.
Have any of you heard of the sting operation that inspired this movie?
No.
Today, I was looking at the IMDb trivia and I saw something about it, but I did not look that closely at it.
I'm gonna break this down for you. It was called Operation Flagship, otherwise known as one of the most successful mass arrests in the history of U.S. law enforcement. Basically, dig this. There were these stings that the U.S. State Marshals conducted called Fugitive Investigative Strike Team Operations, or like FIST operations for short, right? They would locate the fugitives they wanted to arrest, then they'd lure them in with like the promise of cool free shit. They'd send out letters like, hey, congrats, big guy, you just won 10K in the lottery, and then arrest the people when they went to go claim the shit at a fake post office or whatever, right? Basically, law enforcement really liked the idea of arresting people when they weren't too close to their houses, aka less likely to be armed. For Operation Flagship, the chief deputy of the Marshals and his homie Herbert Rutherford noticed there was this football game coming up that would decide whether the Redskins or the Bengals were going to the playoffs, and tickets were borderline fucking impossible to get. So they sent out free tickets to 3,000 fugitives pretending to be a firm called Flagship International Sports Television, which also spells out FIST, right? These letters told the crime dudes that they had to like show up for a pre-game brunch where they would enter a raffle to win 10 season tickets and a week-long all-expenses-paid trip to Super Bowl 20. A fuckload of these guys took the bait, and they showed up to this like separate special area at the convention center right next to where the game would take place later that day. They all got like color-coded name tags that would help the cops identify like how fucked up their crimes were. They had these lady cops dressed up like cheerleaders going around frisking people to make sure they didn't have weapons. And eventually, when it came time to do the fake raffle, the chief of U.S. Marshals came out and said the signal word, surprise, and fucking 25 SWAT dudes stormed in and everybody got cuffed. They arrested 101 dudes that day. One way I guess that Trap is kind of different from Operation Flagship, though, is that Flagship is like applying like Costco wholesale thinking to arresting bad guys. It's way cheaper and less stressful to like round up all the bad dudes in one trap than to take them down like one by one where they live. Whereas with Trap, it's just the FBI spending like a fucking insane amount of money and resources to catch one dude.
But by goofy. God, did it work?
Yeah, they got him. They fucking got him.
So, have we all seen Split here?
No.
Yes.
At the end of this movie, when the butcher finally gets trapped and he fucking gets tased like 5 times before going down, did anyone else think, oh shit, they're doing it again?
Yep. Yes. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
And I'm bringing this up to tee Joe up.
Yeah, the one joke that I made to Tanner after we saw the movie was there's a shot towards the end of the movie where it's they've tased Josh Hartnett a bunch of times, they put him in handcuffs, they put him in the back of the van, and then they drive away. And it just kind of holds on this curb for a second. And I'm just like waiting for something to happen. And then it cuts to Josh Hartnett in the van after like a couple seconds. And I was telling Tanner this after we saw the movie. I was like, Tanner, I'm not going to lie. I thought it would have been very funny because you know how long it held on that curb? I was waiting for the camera to just kind of pan over to the right. And then a van drives up. And then out comes Bruce Willis's son from Unbreakable, Anya Taylor-Joy, and the lady that played Sam Jackson's mom. And then Anya Taylor-Joy looks into the camera and goes, fuck, we're too late.
Hell yeah.
Would have been a good bit. Speaking of that final shot when it cuts to Hartnett in the van, though, that is my favorite final shot of the year so far. It's simple, but it's so fucking perfect the way. Because I swear to God, he spikes the lens when he's smiling for a second. which is like, again, that perfect blend of this is kind of funny, but also I'm intimidated. It's creepy.
Sometimes when I see this See No Evil trailer and I see him hulking around with the axe for those 2 shots, I think it's just the Beast character, because he has the same old stance going on.
I wish it was.
Hang on, Tanner. That wasn't the final shot. The final shot was the guy reacting to the news.
The identity of the butcher has finally been revealed. Cooper Abbott, a local fireman and family man, has been arrested.
That's Cooper! Oh! Help him!
I ain't talking to nobody at work no more. I ain't talking to nobody.
I fucking helped that guy!
My favorite credit scene of the year. And I was a big fan of the Deadpool and Wolverine credit scene. This is by far the funniest one. Especially the whole fucking like, I'm not talking to anybody at work ever again.
Talking to nobody at work ever.
That's me. Haven't we? I think we've all had a moment where we fucked up at work, right? And I imagine we all felt what that guy was feeling. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh no! You know what God, I love this movie.
My theater was about to have a riot when the credits were like halfway done rolling and that guy popped up. You could feel electricity in the air, like how they talk about when shit was screening in the early 1900s and people like ripped up the chairs during Rite of Spring. That's how my theater felt when that guy popped on screen. We all wanted to see his reaction to this shit.
It's so perfect. You couldn't write it better than that, man. I mean, you did. He did write it. I'm saying M. Night's better than you. You, specifically. Hannibal Lecter, he'd like to have you for dinner. Sorry, I've been obsessed. Sorry. Political tangent. Donald Trump has been doing this thing at his rallies where he keeps bringing up Silence of the Lambs. Except he says lamb, which is funny in of itself. Except he brings it up in the context of acting like Hannibal Lecter's a real person. He'll be like, the late, great Hannibal Lecter. We love him, don't we? Fuck, he was a good doctor. Did some bad things. We don't like that, do we, folks? But he was a funny guy. He liked to have friends for dinner. And then he does this thing real point to like a random supporter of his and he goes, he'd like to have you. He'd like to have you for dinner. He'd like to have you for dinner. And listen, I wish that man wasn't evil, because fuck me, his true calling is being a Death Jam comic. That was his true calling, not being president of the United States. I'm sorry, his true calling was being a Death Jam comic, because pointing to a member of your audience and saying Hannibal Lecter wants to eat you is an incredible fucking bit. Why is he evil? We're talking about Trap, not Trump. I understand the confusion. They start with the same 2 letters. Sorry.
Joe brought this up, the shot of the curb. I was looking at the IMDb earlier and just thought it was very funny that the first thing that said on Goofs is a person couldn't take a bike spoke out with his bare hands. He'd need a wrench. Just very funny.
Sure, man. Whatever. Okay, there's this fucking incessant thing, and I've been seeing it a lot lately. It's fucking CinemaSins brain rot. Some people think that the way you watch a movie is you need to prove that you're fucking smarter than the movie. That watching a movie is a fucking game. You need to win. Like, I saw this thing the other day being like, Alien Covenant, most predictable plot twist of all time. Listen, I don't like Covenant. I think it's a huge step down from Prometheus, and I like Prometheus. I'm not a big fan of Alien Covenant. The plot twist they're talking about, where it's like, oh shit, that was David the Hulk. It's dramatic irony, you dipshit. We audience members are supposed to know that. Are you actually brain dead?
Yeah, it's not like the first Saw movie where it wants to hide it from you. It's like a thing, like, it's been used in stories for a very long time. It's okay that you can see it coming a little.
Yeah.
Fucking suspense.
Media literacy is just fucking dead.
Sorry, I feel like I've noticed that on like the past, like this year specifically, I'm becoming meaner about movies. I don't know how to explain it.
No, you're beating up on CinemaSins people. That's a good way, that's a good reason to be mean.
Those people deserve to get beaten up.
You're not being mean about movies. You're being mean about the people who don't understand movies and why we watch them.
It was between this and me, the whole rant about Deadpool and Wolverine. I feel like there's just been a mean streak to me on these podcasts that I haven't really had before. Guys,
honestly, I kind of like to see it.
Being optimistic all the time can be exhausting. I still believe that Robert Downey Jr. Doom could be maybe interesting.
I don't. And I'm the one wearing the Fantastic Four shirt.
I'm still excited for that movie. Everything I'm seeing about that one looks great.
I've lost hope for it.
I know you've lost hope, but I mean, come on. The Thing, they're probably going to CGI over, but just the fact they have a practical thing suit is great. We're talking about Trap.
I read something funny. This film had a metric fuckload of extras, like thousands of extras. And according to this interview that Josh Hartnett did with Joe Blow, these extras kept coming up to Josh Hartnett and trying to console him, like saying shit just like, cheer up, man, it's gonna be fine, you're doing great. Because they didn't know what the movie was about. So they actually thought Josh Hartnett, the actor, was having a really bad time on set and not just the character he was playing.
That's good.
All these fucking people were just like, calm down, dude. It's just a movie.
That's great. I love that.
Oh.
Why is this guy so
I wish
dense?
someone would tell me that. You know, so this movie's funny. We all agree it is intentionally funny while also being a great thriller.
Yeah.
There's also an intentional comedy. What bit made you like laugh the hardest other than the post-credit scene? That would be cheating. Because otherwise I think we would all say that.
When the mom gets water splashed on her by the daughter, Jodie's mom, and she calls her daughter a beast.
That was
literally. I was thinking of that's my favorite bit. Is like, is that a grown ass woman like getting into an argument, like a childish argument with her daughter like that?
Calling her a beast.
I liked when the guy was showing him the like live leak photo and just like, that's pieces. She's deli prepped.
I like the whole like fucking like when he sees all the fucking SWAT cops behind the scenes and he's like, sorry guys, let me just sorry guys, I need to getting a coffee. Sorry guys. That's funny. I also think the whole like, my daughter has leukemia, but don't talk about it. It's funny just on its surface, but it becomes even funnier by the fact that it fucking works.
Or what about the part he was trying to get her chosen to be the dreamer girl, and so when he's talking to M. Night, he's like, yeah, she feels like she was cursed. She feels like she was chosen to be cursed. Just that little subliminal slip in there.
I didn't even notice that. That's so funny. Fuck me. This movie's incredible. I kind of love the bit, just how chipper and happy he's going. I was like, see this? You got me. This is a 21-year-old college student. And I'm like, listen, man, listen, Josh Hartnett. I don't want to hear about your twink boyfriend. I love when Austin comes on because I have bits specifically to try and make him do that wide-eyed laugh thing he does. It's so good. If you're only listening to this, you have to watch it. You have to watch Austin's reaction to that. It's better than my joke.
God
yeah.
damn.
Joe, what's your favorite bit?
I'm so sorry, Joe.
My favorite bit. Honestly, not even like, because again, you said not counting the post-credit scene. Anything with just that character in it, like he's like very funny in the movie. It's both his delivery and how just like he's very charismatic, which makes the dialogue all the more funny. But he's also making the intended joke work. That guy is just very funny, and honestly, I kind of hope I see him again in other movies because that man made me laugh.
He's great. I think it culminates in that grown-ass woman having an argument with her daughter, but the entire running bit of Josh Hartnett having to deal with this like annoying-ass mother being like, our children need to work it out. I'm not a parent, but I imagine if you are one, that is relatable about how fucking annoying those types of people are.
I used to have to work with parents because I used to work at a daycare, and let me tell you, I fucking hated those parents.
Oh. And she tells him she has a dark side. I was thinking about that later, how she's just like, you don't want to provoke me, I have a dark side. And I was like, that's good screen.
I wish we had another post-credit scene showing her reaction to the news.
She's about to be deli prepped.
Speaking of great things as a movie, Josh Hartnett just like randomly taking his shirt off at the end. Apparently his idea. Thank you, Mr. Hartnett.
I'll also just love her revealing that he always smelled like formaldehyde. He's just like, well, there's no avoiding that.
Yeah, you're like, yep. It's such a, like, you know, shit fucking happens, man.
God, when, what is it, Lady Raven is trying to psych him out and pretend to be his mom, one of her, like, leading lines is like, Cooper, stop all this foolishness. And I don't know why, but that just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
M. Night's daughter was like, it's like it's a gene. He can write the dialogue and she can deliver it. Because, like, here's the thing. I think that's supposed to be really fucking funny because you can tell it's just not really working. But at the same time, it actually kind of is working a little bit.
The way that he hits her with the mom is it's solid. Solid scene, kinda.
So here's the thing. I think there have been some reviews talking about, like, how once it leaves the concert, everyone's like, oh, well, boo-hoo. Don't get me wrong. The concert is, like, the best adaptation of a Hitman Agent 47 game we have ever gotten. But then,
yeah,
I kind of like the Looney Tunes ass bullshit the third act evolves into. Like, how the fuck does he keep escaping? It's incredible.
I think the scene where he's banging on the bathroom door is the most tense the movie gets.
Yeah.
That is where it peaks in intensity.
Because, like, when that door opened, I was convinced Cooper killed his family.
Yeah, I think especially when, like, she says he's the butcher, and then you just, like, hear a loud noise and then silence. That's tense.
But then also the Looney Tunes ass bullshit, especially at the very end, which is what finally just confirmed, okay, this is intentional Looney Tunes ass bullshit with him laughing. Like, he himself is, like, laughing at how fucking absurd it is. He keeps getting away with it.
Yeah.
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 I got a big old grin on my face every time he pulled another Pablo Escobar. That was my, like, gut reaction to watching him use, like, an underground tunnel, pretend to be a SWAT officer, hide in the crowd as they moved away from the car. Every time I was just like, oh, hell yeah. Because the whole first hour, he's just trapped like a rat, whereas the second hour is just demonstrating that it's just like, he can swim away when he's not trapped by 1,000 FBI agents. Easy.
It's so good. Oh, have we not brought up Kid Cudi?
Oh yeah, Kid Cudi's in this movie.
He plays the gay pop star that gives Hartnett fuck me eyes. By the way, apparently there was not a plan for the character to wear a wig, but then Scott Muscudi, Kid Cudi, came to set and said, I think this guy would wear a wig. I think this guy would wear a fucking long blonde wig. And you know what? I remember, I don't know if I actually said this to Joe in the moment, but when his character made those, you want to get doing something later eyes to Josh Hartnett, I thought to myself, he's gonna have to go gay to get out of this one. He's gonna have to take back shots to get out of this, boys. Let's go. And I was admittedly mildly disappointed. If this movie culminated in Josh Hartnett having to go full gay to get out of it, it would have shot past I Saw the TV Glow for #1, would have made it the best queer movie of the year over I Saw the TV Glow as well.
Dude, I can just imagine him fucking quickly pulling out Grindr, you know, setting the distance to like 10 feet away.
And then finding him!
And then going over and being like, so do you like astrology? Just speed running the gay sex.
And here's the thing, it would work. Honestly, I think he should have done that. I think he could have gotten away with it if he did.
Oh yeah.
I think, because here's the thing. It was all gonna come falling apart the second he showed Lady Raven, hey, because like she could just tell the FBI agents after she dropped him. Like, I didn't know what his further plan was, but at that point he was just going, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. I don't know what his overarching plan was. It clearly wasn't a good one.
Yeah, that's the thing that I just found so funny about it is, like, everything he did to get into that VIP section, and then he's surprised that they were gonna, you know, vet him on the way out. Like, you really thought they were gonna let you just waltz by.
If only.
It just highlights how fucking dumb he is, which is something that I love about it.
Yeah, he's dumb, but also kind of smart. He's smart, dumb, smart.
He's dumb, but quick on his feet.
Yeah. Street smarts.
Okay, so when you get kidnapped, the place where the guy grabs you,
In the biz, we call that the primary location, okay? Your odds of coming back alive from the primary location, about 60%. But if you are taken to a secondary location, your odds of coming back alive are slim to none.
Here's the real question for you. Who is dumber in terms of trying to make smart decisions, but it ultimately fucking up for him? Josh Hartnett in Trap or Michael Fassbender in The Killer?
Yep.
Ooh.
I think
both are excellent adaptations of Hitman Agent 47.
I think it's funnier when Michael Fassbender fucks up. It's more interesting when Josh Hartnett fucks up.
I'd agree.
Because when Michael Fassbender fucks up, it's like, all right, I shot you here and here in the shoulder. You got maybe 5 minutes before you die. The dude is instantly dead.
I fucking love Josh Hartnett when he gets to the roof and they're like, hey, what are you doing up there? My friend just got burned. It's perfect line because it's like, you fucking did that. I love how, by the way, he just makes a fucking bomb using an air fryer. Or not air fryer, sorry, a normal fryer. Fucking incredible.
Deep fried.
It's this is the greatest fucking movie ever made, man. I'm almost talking myself into putting it above Dune Part 2. I'm not there. But I'm almost. Well, you don't like that movie. Shut up.
Yeah, fuck that movie.
But I'm almost there. But I'm not there. I don't think I'm gonna get there because Dune Part 2 has the actual funniest thing to happen in a movie all year, which is Anya Taylor-Joy fetus vision thing.
Now presented in fetus vision.
That what the fucking remember? What was that fucking
that is,
Kojima?
That's
Death Stranding.
That's
First
a fucking
3 minutes of Beau is Afraid.
Yeah, Tim. That's a fucking soundbite if I ever did hear one. Now in fetus vision.
Notice how this is the most amped we've been to talk about a movie in a minute. Shyamalan has the fucking sauce. Love him, hate him. You're wrong if you hate him. You got to admit he has some fucking shit to say.
He's got the sauce.
He's cooking.
He's got the not just the sauce. He has the sauce.
Sauce.
You gotta give it that like Jersey pronunciation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This was such a good idea for a fucking movie. He might be back. I am shocked at how fucking much I like this movie.
You will. I think you'd like Knock at the Cabin a lot.
All right,
I can't recommend it enough. And Old is like, what if Shyamalan did body horror, which is kind of interesting. It's not nearly as good as these two, but I think it's truly the start of this like modern like renaissance for him.
Yeah.
And I hope I keep getting a Shyamalan movie a year, because getting Knock at the Cabin last year and then Trap this year was fucking awesome. I feel like I'm probably gonna have to wait a couple years for the next one, but if he just keeps being able to successfully make his money back, because here's the thing, self-financing all these movies, which leads to the incredible fucking thing, Josh Hartnett's character uses an iPhone.
Yeah.
When typically Apple has only the hero can use an iPhone clause, but since he didn't take Apple's money, it doesn't fucking matter.
Let's go.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, annual Shyamalans and annual Lanthimoses. We're here for it.
Shyamalan is like on the reverse Ridley Scott arc. Ridley Scott is a director who's way respected and just keeps fucking hammering his reputation into the ground movie by movie every year.
Hey, Gladiator 2 looks like fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, The Last Duel was great.
Yes, The Last Duel was fucking great. I'm so mad no one showed up to see it. He
I
finally
did.
makes a total
I
banger.
didn't.
It's like when Andor dropped on Disney Plus and no one apparently watched it. Life is cruel.
You know, no, I'm jealous of those people that didn't watch it. Andor ruined Star Wars for me. It was alluded to on whatever, I think the Deadpool and Wolverine thing, where Tim put an editor's note saying, this is why The Mandalorian Season 3 vidcast was canceled. Star Wars, every time I watch a new Star Wars thing, I'm like, why isn't this good like Andor?
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I can't watch them either now that I've had a taste of what it could be like if they gave a fuck.
I watched Mandalorian Season 3 and I was like, whatever. I still haven't seen Ahsoka. I still haven't seen The Acolyte. I actually heard The Acolyte was okay, but apparently it got fucking canceled because of a bunch of fucking racist chuds. Because God forbid Star Wars be interesting.
Hey, Star Wars fans who make 16 videos about why they hate the Acolyte. This is for you, you pieces of shit. Go to hell. And get ass fucked.
I used to like Star Wars.
I'm her uncle, her mother's brother.
Star Wars used to be my favorite.
Like how you're saying that in the most George Lucas voice possible.
If we still did highlights, that would be the highlight. Me just going, I used to like Star Wars.
This whole movie was shot on 35mm film.
And it looks great. The first half of this movie, I was convinced the FBI lady, psychologist person, was like the same old lady from Split, because I forgot what that woman looks like. So I just saw old white lady and went, shit, it's the lady from Split. It could have been fucking like fucking George W. Bush's wife on there. And I would have been like, yeah, that's the lady from Split.
It could have been Laura Bush.
Yeah, it could have been Laura Bush, and I would have like, yeah, that's the lady from Split. It could have been George W. Bush in drag, and I would have been like, yeah, that's the lady from Split.
Yeah, we're gonna
what would
find this
George
guy
Bush's
here.
drag queen name be? Actually, hold on. George Bush's drag name would be Operation Iraqi Freedom. Anyway, we're gonna move on to final thoughts on Trap. Austin, we'll start with you.
I think we should do a comedy parody of this, like Zucker Brothers style, where Ashton Kutcher is trying to fake arrest a guy on Punk'd, but the guy ends up being a real serial killer and shit hits the fan. I think that would be bomb. Trap is better than it has any right to be. Maybe M. Night is like big time back. Only time will tell. Let's wait and see if Shyamalan is content doing the world's most expensive Blumhouse features. Or like if the seductive prestige of Hollywood tentpole movies will ruin his career once again. Hoping to see more like this in the future. He handles the sub $50 million thriller stuff really well, but deep down I'm always bracing myself to wake up one day and see him attached to the 2028 live-action Fortnite movie. Back to you, Tanner.
Fuck you. I want to see M. Night Shyamalan's Fortnite more than fucking anything. That movie doesn't have a plot. That game doesn't have a plot. I want to see, because here's the thing. You know what? M. Night Shyamalan's alien-ass dialogue, perfect for the bullshit that Fortnite is.
Yeah.
I used to whip a nene. Okay, first off, let me sell you on old real quick, Austin and Timmy, if you haven't seen it. There's a rapper in that movie whose rap name is Midsize Sedan.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, final thoughts.
Dad's Rock Maybe?
Dad's Rock Maybe! Joe.
Movie good. That's honestly where I'm gonna end it, because that's really all that needs to be said about this movie is movie good. It's really good. Go see it.
I couldn't agree more. M. Night Shyamalan is fucking back, and maybe better than ever. This is his best movie since that, one of his best movies since that original Hot 4 movie streak. It is his best movie since The Village, which came out 20 years ago. If this movie is still playing in theaters where you are, please, please, please go see it and understand it is funny on purpose while also being thrilling. But you know what else is funny on purpose and thrills me? You! The person watching / listening to this episode of Bomb Squad Matinee. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're listening, we really appreciate it. Go ahead and leave us a review, boost us or something. If you are listening, how about you mosey on over to our Patreon and give us some money, where for $5 a month, you can listen to our at least once a month, maybe more commentary tracks. We have the first one out. It's on Space Jam. You can watch the highlight reel on our YouTube channel. I think it came out great personally. I might be a little biased, but I think it's a really fun way to watch the movie. So if you want to watch Space Jam and listen to us crack really dumb jokes for an hour and a half, I don't think it's a bad way to spend your time. And all you got to do is give us $5. And if you don't like it, you can cancel after that. I hope you don't, but you could. And if you contribute on the $10 tier.
But why?
But if you contribute on the $10 tier, you get a special shout out. So shout out to Jason Secord. We really appreciate your continued support. And Tanya Kraft, my mother, thank you for giving me money, mommy. We really appreciate it. I love Austin's looks. They're so good. If you're watching this on YouTube, we really appreciate it. How about you mosey on down to the comment section below and let me know. What's your favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie? What did you think of Trap? What's your favorite male leading actor performance in the year, and why is it Josh Hartnett? And finally, what do you think George W. Bush's drag queen name should be? Comment below and let me know. And while you're down there, hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us. And the bell icon so you can know exactly when we upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Farewell.
All right, everyone get Austin.
What?
This trap was for you.
Ah!
Oh. Oh, shit.
Just slid my ticket across the table and I said, sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl.